Hello, and welcome to week 3 of our summer session class. Hopefully, these last couple weeks have been challenging and interesting and thought provoking. And I'm hoping also that the feedback I give you is helping your learning and helping you figure out ways to improve. So, we're in the middle of the session, week 3, and this week is devoted to race and ethnicity. This is something that when you read the lecture, you'll know there's something, definitely that I study. Most of us sociologists study race sometimes exclusively, and most of the time it's very embedded in whatever study we're doing. It's probably one of the biggest things we study in sociology. There's a lot of great material to choose from, but you'll see. There's a lot to look through this week. But as I was saying, for me, race is something that's a personal and political topic. You can see my little niece. Let's see, right there in the background. That's Nina Mercedes. And she's a biracial child. My sister, who's Latina like me, but we're like a little coconut sisters. I'm kind of the white part of the coconut, and she's the brown outer part of the coconut. That's how we've always described each other. And she's married to someone who's African American, and that's their little daughter. So I always have her, I guess I didn't realize, right here in the background of these videos. In my own family, my husband is also biracial. His dad is black, Afro-Ecuadorian, and his mom is Midwestern, born and raised. And so, when we had kids, we didn't know what are they going to look like, because my mom is Latina, Peruvian, from indigenous Italian and Afro-Peruvian heritage. And my dad is straight up Irish as Irish can get. So we really didn't know what our kids would look like in terms of any racial markings or obvious indicators, of our racial mix. And as if you remember the first PowerPoint presentation to introduce me and the class, I think I have 2 pictures of our kids. So, you can revisit it and tell what you think. But anyway, race is something in the Latino community, in the U.S., and around the world is an important topic, and for sure it enters into our own household all the time in my personal life. So that is sort of my personal framework of how I approach race and my interest in it, as someone who, like myself, who walks around with a lot of white privilege. I don't think looking at me you would think I was anything but maybe Irish or English or something heritage. It has offered me many privileges, invisible privileges that I just take for granted. But it also offers me entree into discussions and conversations with folks who assume my ethnicity or my race, which is sometimes disturbing, but always makes for very, very interesting sociological content, I tell you. Okay, so for this week, I'm just looking at my sheet so I don't forget. You're going to do a Forum 3A, and Form 3A is still, kind of on personal level, as always. However, this week, your Form 3A will have, you need to have a little bit more bulk to it, a little bit more substance to it. And that's where the FYI material comes into place. These are sometimes very short news articles, sometimes longer reports. And you will not believe it, but what I have for this week is about a quarter of what I could have put as FYI material. I wanted to go crazy, but I only put just a little bit of what I have. So one of your tasks for Form 3A is to just first click through, read, skim, read closely what catches your attention, skim, other stuff that doesn't appeal to you as much. And keep those all in mind, keep that work in mind as you answer the question to 3A. So this time you will have the FYI information with you as you post and reply. Okay. So hopefully that's a way to kick off this week. Then I recommend you read the lecture. The lecture is a little bit on the shorter side because I have so much other material. Shorter side for me anyway. Once you do the lecture, there's 2 films that I would like you to watch, and they end up being about a total of 2 hours. But the first film is called Papers, and it's a film about undocumented students, not just Latinos, it's all sorts. You understand the situation of college students, and actually have a reading that I have published for this week as well, if that interests you. And then Tim Weiss, who is a critical race scholar, activist. I think he actually is a sociologist. I'm not sure. He might be an anthropologist. He has a piece on white privilege. So those are 2 films that are required for the week. And remember, this may seem like a lot, but I'm hoping I'm giving you a lot of flexibility of when to get these done. So it's not like every day, got to do this one exact thing. But between now, Monday, and Wednesday, get your 3A done, get your lecture done, watch your 2 movies, take notes, and then get started on the readings. Again, there's about the same amount of readings. I've really overhauled, as I keep mentioning these readings. I've taken a lot of my favorites and classics for just in favor of trying to give you the latest and greatest. Of course, some of my stuff is in there because this is what I teach, this is my research. You don't have to read it. I hope you do. I love to know what you think about it. But the reading is spanning from all sorts of issues around race. So it might seem like it overlaps just a little bit with the class, because class overlaps with race. So the 2 are pretty intertwined many times. But race has its own kind of dynamics. And people will say, for example, well, if you're middle class or upper class and African American, then really, do you have that many problems? And really interesting research has been done, ethnographic research and interviews, that indeed, yes, race, especially for African Americans in social settings and educational settings, can trump class. Okay, so this is something that that is definitely a hot topic. It can touch topics that are very sensitive, that you may agree or disagree depending on your own personal experience of racism, discrimination, privilege. But, this class is an upper division sociology course, so we're definitely bounded by research and theory and evidence. So I hope you take that to heart and enjoy the material. I've got us going, we're in top gear, starting with 3A. So by Wednesday, I'll go back to that. By Wednesday, begin doing your readings. By Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, up to Saturday, post your first, your original posting. And then you have till Sunday to reply. You could reply earlier, but you obviously need to post first. And then the quiz closes on Sunday, midnight. Okay, so I've graded your previous quiz, and now I'm in the midst of organizing myself to grade your postings of 2B. But anyway, that you'll know from updates. I think that's about it. I'm looking forward to your work. I'm looking forward to discussions. Hopefully, we are keeping things academic and analytical and respectful and engaging in the material. As it relates also to our life and our experience. Okay, this is a little bit longer of a video, but hopefully these videos are useful. Give me feedback on that too. They're certainly fun to make. And me and little Nina over here say bye-bye and see you online.